everybody. We're live. It's Monday. It's 5:30. You know what that means. It's your favorite hybrid live show. And with me, as always, are two men that I like way more than they like me. Anthony Peressini and Dave Claxton. How are we, gentlemen?
I have officially become big time because Cheryl Snow just started to follow me this instant. And I think it's most likely to complain that we were late.
I'm sure it was.
Hi, Cheryl.
And it was my fault. We were handling very important business on this end. We run this multimedia conglomerate, as you're all aware. As you can tell by this girl talk, these new exciting, this brick wall I had behind me, which is neither new nor exciting. We've got a fun host of topics. And for those of you who've been wondering, Matt, those graphics were sweet. When are those graphics coming back? Well, I'm working on it. I want to come back, but only I want to come back right. I want to have sweet graphics and sweet sponsor logos and all that fun stuff. So that's happening soon. Do I sound loud to you guys? Hello. Do I sound loud to you?
No.
Okay. Many of you have noticed, I'm sure, that I used to have a little stand, and I hate it. So I'm always going handheld now. This is like old school when I didn't stand up. I'm just very comfortable. I'm very confident when I hold the microphone.
Are you going to cramp up?
Well, if you notice, I'll just do this while I'm not talking, while I'm resting. So welcome those of you that are here, and we welcome your comments. We will often read them here. If you do the money button, you can do the money button. If you do the money button, I'll read it whatever you say. You can say whatever you want. You can insult Dave, Anthony. Did anybody have an exciting weekend? Let's start there before we get into the host of topics that we have. Dave, you went to F1 or F2 or F5?
Yeah, IMSA, sports car racing. Yeah, at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, which used to be called Mosport. They used to have Formula One there, long time ago. But spent the weekend there, Thursday through to Sunday, camping out, watching racing. We ran the track, which is always a fun thing to do. And
they let you?
Yeah. Once the cars are off, they're like, yeah, go ahead. You got tons of people out there running the track, going around on little electric bikes. And
how long is the track?
Pardon me?
How long is the track?
Oh, not very long. Right around 4K, just under.
Oh, that's not bad.
Did you set a Strava segment or a Strava KOM or a Strava?
I didn't have my watch with me, so I didn't. But I have previously done the Strava there, and there is a segment for it.
You call yourself some kind of, and you don't even bring your watch?
No, man. Shockingly, if you don't have your watch, the workout still happened.
That's not true.
Hey, nobody worked out before like 2015. Did you know that?
That's right.
That's Dave. That's not true. If you like my friend said he was trying some new PT stuff, and he said he got like some cupping, and I said, well, you didn't post it, so you clearly weren't cupped. I mean,
yeah. Well, my watch recently broke. I've had the same Garmin watch for years, and it's like the HR Vivo Active, like it's like the beginner's Garmin watch.
Is that a word? Vivo Active?
It could be. But it anyway, so it broke. The strap broke off, and I haven't figured out a way to fix it yet because it actually is one piece of plastic and the little bits where the pin goes in snapped. So I got to come up with a cool way to fix it.
If you want a Garmin code and to upgrade your watch, just message.
Okay. All right.
We'll figure it out.
Are you an ambassador? Is you or your wife an ambassador?
My wife might be.
Oh. Why is that a secret though? If she's
I don't think there's a secret. We just don't have a code yet. I think we're hoping to get a code.
Oh, when did this happen? This is exciting news. You don't like to share the sponsorships out there.
Well,
it's not his sponsorship.
It's not my sponsorship. I'm not going to share it.
Okay. Will the Hybrid Engine be sharing? Since you're not going to do it, will the coaching program that Lauren is a part of would that be announcing her sponsorship?
No, I'm assuming she'll announce a sponsorship once it's like finalized.
Okay, don't get so defensive of me. You're the one who fucking brought it up.
No, I was just saying if he wants a code, I might have one, but I don't know if he's going to buy a new watch. I was interested.
I might know what
kind of watches out there.
They're good watch. I like I said, I had it for probably 4 years. Was a big fan.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is an old one. This was actually my dad's, and it's I actually don't remember what brand it is, but I got rid of my Apple Watch, and I've been wearing this one for a few months, and I really like the Garmin watch. It has some cool features, and Lauren has one that has a flashlight on it, and I'm like I thought it was just going to be gimmicky, but like she uses it. I'm like, that's cool.
My dad had a Casio because he was cool like that.
I used to have one of those little calculator watches. I was a big time nerd.
Dave, did your dad get captured and then have to give the watch to his friend Wanaka?
Yes. Shockingly.
And
he was in the Navy. It could have happened.
Right. And then he would have had to have hidden it when he was captured.
Yeah, but he was more likely just to have lost it to a drunk guy at a bar or something like that. That would have been more accurate.
Your dad was not. He was in the military, or he wasn't?
He was in the Navy.
My dad was in the Korean War. Have I ever told you guys that? My actual dad, my biological dad, who had me at a very late age, was in the Korean War, not World War II, the Korean War.
Wow.
Like people's dads like went to Nam, but my dad went to Korea.
No, my old man just sailed around drunk a lot on an aircraft carrier, and that was it.
That sounds like a good time.
Yeah, he enjoyed it. There are many long tales about him. So yeah.
All right, so let's get into it. The first thing we wanted to talk about was the CrossFit Games ?
Oh, I messaged Dave about this. I was just curious what you guys thought. Just obviously 2 workouts have been released, Chad with probably a twist, and then a run swim. And then we assume there's going to be between 12 to 15 events. We have no idea what the other events are. Obviously, these 2 events seem very monostructural, just like one plane, more endurance based. So presumably 1 rep max would offset them. But what do you guys think of the first 2 workouts and who jumps to mind? And I asked Dave this earlier because I had a question of like, I could see 6 guys. Like you have Justin Medeiros seems like he's back. You got obviously Jeff Adler from last year. He's not just going to go away. Roman, no more ankle or foot problem. Ricky Garrard is back. And then you got the 2 Canadians.
Why don't you just name the top 10? You're just naming the top 10 men out there.
Well, those 6 guys, like I could see any one of them or any combination of 3 of them hitting the podium. Is there anybody that's like a runaway favorite?
Not for the men, no. I mean, like you say, it could be anybody. I think as soon as you throw the swim in, you get Adler out of there. And if you want to say favorites that aren't on your list, that's a guy. Fikowski could be a guy who could do really well in the run swim one. So you could put it out there, and he's got a good engine, and he's a guy that's going to calculate exactly how fast he's going to have to take each step on Chad. I think honestly, I'm an Adler backer. I think he'll do it again. Like I think he'll play really well at this, and his running has improved so much. I think it bodes well for him.
Can we go back? So a couple people messaged me. I don't know if if you were one of them, that said, "Oh, look, Castro finally admitted that they fucked up the 5K." And I'm quick to say, no, he did not. He said, "Oh yeah, it was short a little." I thought when people messaged me and said he admitted it, I thought he was going to be like jokingly, like, "Okay, guys, it's been a year. Fuck it, we fucked up." But he still didn't. He was talking to Emily, and he said the 5K, and then he was like, "Well, I put in quotes because it was short a little." I was like, "That's not admitting it." So. I will never let that go. That's
the most admission you'll ever get from him. He doesn't say how short it was, but short by 2 minutes is 1.5 to 2 minutes.
It wasn't a little short. Okay. 3.0 would have been a little short. Anyhow, we do know. So
supposedly it's a 4-mile run.
Well, so they started sharing. We found out where it was, right?
Yeah.
So I quickly posted on my Strava. The whole thing is like 5 point something, right? Almost 6. But then Spin put out like, "Oh, what if they ran 3 miles here and then swam one way this way or something?" Did you look at that?
Yeah, kind of cut across. Yeah.
He actually put what he thinks the actual event might be. And so that's the question. Like, they said run swim. They didn't say total of 4 miles, right?
No, they've not been. I don't think they've come clear about exactly how far everything is. But the other question is, if it is like 4 miles, and I shouldn't say question, I'm more of a statement. If it is, they say 4 mile run and a 800 meter swim or whatever the case may be, and it's not, nobody will care because it's not a specific mark like a 5K.
Exactly. It's not. They're not saying like this is a 5K. Look how close we can come to this standardized test.
And say that everyone else is doing it too. We're all doing it. It's like the CrossFit 5K. Blah blah blah. Exactly. Let me pull up the spin though thing because I thought it was cool.
Now, if they say it's a 4-mile run and 800-meter swim, and people are doing the run in 20 minutes, there's going to be a lot of questions.
Yeah, but I don't think we'd care as much because now at the point we're just like, yeah, we just assume it's off.
Yeah.
And two, like I said, it's not a benchmark.
I got to make this bigger. Hang on.
Yeah, it's not a benchmark run, so people won't get us up. Now, if they go in the stadium the night before or the first night and do a mile time trial, and that's not a mile, obviously we'd all lose our shit.
Yeah. So if you can see my little, mouse here?
Yep.
If you keep going all the way around like I did, I should have been smarter and realized that wasn't going to happen. So yeah, if you go all the way around, it's closer to 6. But here, he's saying, look, this big area is good for a mass start. And then
is it a trail run or is that a paved path?
Well, it's clearly not on a trail. It's a fucking.
Well, I can't tell if that's a dirt road, like a dirt road, compacted dirt, or if it's.
All right. Well, there's the gal that posted that she ran on it already, but I forget what her name is. Somebody wrote the boat ramp is all gravel. Hope they clean it up some before. Running in those hot rocks will not be fun. What?
Ooh.
Oh, so like taking off their shoes and running into the water, they mean?
Yeah. I don't know. Like you see, what was the last time when it was in that Wadapalooza when they had that ramp that everybody kept slipping down? Maybe they'll build one of those.
I mean, they're not the most careful with the heat and the implements. Just look at back when they were in Carson and they had the kettlebells that burned everybody's shoulders.
Cool.
Somebody wrote the boat ramp is currently under construction. It was being dug up yesterday, but I'm sure they can get it finished in a month if necessary. Yeah, whoever lives out there should just constantly go out there and check. It's like when WTM was in Vegas for like 4 years in a row, and people would always just go by the lake, and you probably went by the lake.
I did. I was at WTM one night too,
and saw what it was.
That was awesome when they did. There's your barbell spin right there.
Oh, there he is.
Confirmed 800 meter swim.
When he was interviewing Kyra.
I do not know who that athlete is.
She actually lived up here in Salt Lake and went to our gym before she moved away the first year we lived up here. And then now we switched places with her. Now she goes to Vegas and trains with the underdogs. She went to Mayhem for 1 year and then
Mayhem?
Yeah.
You can't help but kind of take that personally, can't you?
What? Did she move away? No.
Yeah, well, she just switched her spot. She's just kind of taking.
Yeah, we just traded.
I think it's Mayhem. I think it's with an E.
Mayhem.
Didn't you used to train with Alex
Kazan?
Yeah.
So she was at Camp Rhino North, and we were at Camp Rhino HQ. So, yeah, we saw her and did do some. I think I'm not sure very often. I don't even remember actually. Maybe 1 or 2 times. But there's 2 locations of Camp Rhino in Vegas. So,
well, back to the other question. I really don't care about Chad at all.
Really?
My question is: Do you think whatever twist he was gonna do, he's gonna like now innovate it even more because people are just like, this will be the stupidest thing in the world, and so now
I don't think he cares. I think he wants people to talk about it, and negative talk to him is still good. So he wants people to talk about it, even if it's boring. I don't know if you guys watched Hiller's thing on it. I don't think you can say it's a good or bad event until you know all the events. We don't know. Maybe it's going to work out great because there's going to be some other event that's offsetting of it. So you can't say it's a terrible event until you know all the others. And what if the twist is, my favorite thing about the twist would be like, okay, now you got to row or run or ski 1,000 meters after every 100 step ups. Boom. Big twist. I don't think
the twist will be massive. I don't think it'll be a big twist.
And
I think it'll be something very small. I don't think it'll be box overs.
You don't think so? You don't think it's going to be a big FU to everyone in the quarterfinal?
I absolutely think it's a big FU to everyone in the quarterfinal. And I think it's a big FU in the way that he's going to say, okay, stand all the way up or we're going to no rep you. And that's the FU. You should have been doing it the way we told you the whole time. Just like that.
Did you see, I forget who, maybe it was Hiller that posted it. Somebody posted 2 of the athletes had just done an exam, like Chad, and they posted their video of it. And somebody commented, now add 10 to 15% for all those no reps.
I think that was Hiller's comment.
That was funny.
That was his description.
But
that is the question though, right? Like, are these judges are they just gonna do what they've always done, which is, well, it's super fast, so we'll just let it slide?
It depends on the judge you get.
And the fact that you might have 40 of them.
If they're all going at the same time.
Yeah, that's
what if the twist is you have to go right from the run swim into Chad? They wreck the whole week for you, mess up your hips right away.
Isn't a run swim the first workout?
Yeah.
And Chad is going to be right before the cuts.
They don't know. We don't know when the
Chad.
No, he said that. He said it's the last one before the cuts. Yeah.
On Friday. You're going to be box stepping for your life.
Right, because that was his added like that he thought was so fucking genius.
And what my thought about that was just because you take a boring event and put it at an exciting time, it doesn't mean the event's no longer boring.
Do you think they had this event and most of these events set before the semifinal, or do you think after the semifinal when you had that thing between Dallin Pepper and Roman and it was exciting, like getting over the box and going around the box and touching the box, that they were like, ooh, that was exciting. Let's make that a whole event.
I would like to think that they built the semifinals and the games all into one to flow. But I also believe that they could, shift on the fly and possibly.
Well, that's what he said before, is that he does the whole programming as open quarterfinal, semifinal games, like all of it together.
Yeah.
But I mean, you go back and look and it's like, well, you like tripled up here and here and here. Like, so like that one year they did an open workout in the games and it's like, so you just had the same workout for 2 stages.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I don't often believe everything Dave says or a lot of what he says. And part of it is because I think he is quite capable of lying about it. The other part is I think it's all a game to him, where he's just, this is my game I'm playing. So and like you said, any publicity is good publicity in his perspective.
And yeah, well, and shout out to Matt's episode from earlier with John Woolley Memuth, where he talked about that you don't really know what Dave's doing because Dave is friends with Savan and like maybe Hiller is.
Yeah, but see that to me, that was a fucking like crazy red pill, whatever you call it, that I do not believe that's happening. I mean, I could think Dave would want something like that to happen. There's no way that Hiller is a fucking sleeper agent for. I don't think
he's a sleeper agent. I think that maybe CrossFit does let him get away with stuff because it's beneficial. They like can say, oh, it's negative, it's bad, like don't look here. But them saying that, like he said, them saying that makes everybody look there.
You're thinking about it like from almost like a hockey perspective. You're not allowed to fight in hockey. We're going to give you.
We're going to let it go until you call it.
But here's a bunch of videos of it.
Yeah. There's no fighting in hockey. Here's hockey.
I just want you guys to know that when Dave says things like hockey, I get very excited. I just, know, that your Canadian accent is amazing, especially when you say words like a boot, which you dropped earlier, and I didn't say anything. And you dropped a hook, or the workout, but you dropped a hockey. Fucking old time hockey.
Fucking Gordy special, eh? No, Gordy hat trick.
Yeah, I don't think there's. I mean, because if that was the case, I think they'd let him come. You know what I mean? I think Dave really does not like that he points out so much that is wrong, and many of those people don't like what is wrong. Don't like that he points out what is wrong with that company. But I think. Yes, if the idea is all attention is good attention, but seriously, they have basically, it's like if you strike me down now, I become even more powerful, right? That they have given Hiller so much power, it's made all of his crazy Bat fans even crazier. Look, you say stuff and they do it. So it's like they've made him way bigger than he ever would have been just on his own had they ignored most of it. But now it's full on. Like everybody wants to know every time they publish something, what is Hiller going to say? Now, what is Dave going to say about what Hiller said? So, yeah.
I'm interested to see. I heard this question on a couple of the CrossFit podcasts, so I'm interested to see your guys' take on it. Why do you get so many announcements and big time information on Dave Castro's personal page? And why does it not come out?
I've been saying that for 5 years. I've been saying that for 5 years.
Like even all these interviews he's doing.
Spin, have I not been saying that for the last 2 years?
Sure.
You've known Spin for a week and a half.
Well, but at least now they're. By the way, welcome Spin to the program. Thanks for jumping on with us, buddy. We're talking CrossFit.
Problem.
Thanks for being here. I got you in the screen, and I got Clock on the side. I feel like I'm a real CrossFit program now.
There you go.
The fact that they're finally now doing some cross promotion, right? It'll be like hey, here's a CrossFit reel with, hey, Dave said this in his interview, or they'll do some co-branded. What are your thoughts on that? You think they still just don't? They're like, well, if people care, they'll watch Dave. What are your thoughts on CrossFit's media team being so lame?
Oh, it's always been a source of what's going on for the last 5 years of what is the direction of media at CrossFit. I mean, for those who really follow the sport, you have to follow Dave Castro. Like, you just have to. They have their CrossFit Games stuff. They have CrossFit podcasts. They have their CrossFit methodology affiliate type channel. But Dave has always been the voice of the games. And ever since he started, like, he would give his hints on his Instagram. And it just kind of became a thing now.
But his hints versus actual content, talking about reasoning behind things, and not just comments. I'm talking about before the weekly show. Now the weekly show is obviously his thoughts on all these things. But if you're going to post it, yes, you and tons of people who are really, really, really into the sport are going to follow him, but there's plenty of people that don't.
Yeah, I mean, CrossFit should at least, at a minimum, be sharing clips of the most important things from those interviews. I mean, I'm doing it.
What about those, what was it, 3 years when Dave wasn't part of it? 2 years. Like, why didn't Boz take over that role?
Boz has never been a huge person to be in front of the camera.
Yeah. And so, like, I mean,
the problem when Dave was not around is they had no voice.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's interesting that they let him do that, but especially because he does block people. And then if he blocks somebody, how do they get the information?
Well, that's also what Willie Meemuth said. He said they're also really trusting he's never going to say anything that really hurts the company. Like, what if one day he just, goes off and says something inappropriate or something they don't believe in or something? It's a pretty tight line.
Well, that's why he separated his accounts. Like, I've been following him for a long time, and he separated his accounts into TDC hunts because he wanted to put something up that was like his personal account. So the Dave Castro is now basically a CrossFit account, and TDC hunts is a separate one for his personal stuff.
Does the fact that, like, he gives out this information on his personal account and stuff? So my curiosity is CrossFit wanting him to do this, or is this Dave's idea and he wants to do this? Because if it's Dave's idea that he wants to do this, it reeks of raging ego.
Oh,
I mean, to me, because if I'm Dave Castro and I demand that I give out this information on my personal page rather than CrossFit give it out, I mean, that's just like, so that reeks of, I need to be the center of attention.
I think he started doing it because CrossFit didn't have the media to do it anymore, and he just has continued doing it, and nobody's taken it over, even though it's taken off.
They have announcers. They had Sean. They had tons of people that could do an announcement on their own YouTube page at any time, but they don't. They use him in his way, and I just don't get the logic behind it. I'm not saying he's bad at it. I'm not saying it, or I don't understand the logic when how many people follow Castro, which is like a lot.
750,000.
How many people follow the CrossFit YouTube page?
About double.
Don't always confuse the number of subscribers or followers on Instagram to what's actually active.
Yeah. You're right.
There are plenty of. I mean, I can guarantee you go through the 1.7 million subscribers on YouTube for their channel, and half are bots because it's so popular, or they no longer use that account. Like,
let me ask you this.
Doesn't equate to the same thing.
Let me ask you this.
I think it still is higher, though. I mean,
let me ask you this though, Brian, because Hiller's point about the fact that you don't include me, and I'm actually I actually get more engagement than you guys do, and I do really well here, and here. Even if you let go of the whole team that they let go of however many years ago now, why do you think they haven't done that? Like, okay, like we should probably hire someone who can do these basic things that you and I talk about every day. Like, how do you improve engagement? How much YouTube to post? How much podcast? Like all that stuff that those of us that like this isn't even your full-time job, or maybe it is, but lots of content creators who it's not even their full-time job do better than this worldwide brand that could certainly afford to hire. I'm not saying hire a team of 20 people, but a couple people. Why do you think they won't do that?
There's something to be said about a small team, that a true small team like me or you, like, or Hiller, like all of these third-party media groups are small, we're nimble, we think outside the box, we do whatever it takes. When you become a company and there's layers and approvals, and it takes a lot more to get done, and I don't think they're all on the same page.
The people in the office. People in the office, you mean?
In CrossFit, yeah. Right? Like there's too much that they just can't get up and do it because they need approvals by others and meetings, and they're all now remote. Like if I want to do something, I do it and I post it because I'm the doer and the decision maker, right? Like, yeah, I can't make excuses for why they do things the way they do, but yeah, it's some of the decisions they make are kind of, you just question what's
baffling.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want CrossFit head office to do what you do or what Hiller does or any of that stuff. I want those independent personas to comment, because then you get that unbiased opinion, where I'm not depending on this for my job. You're not the hand that feeds me, right? You don't want to bite the hand that feeds you. I just want CrossFit to put out reasonable announcements. You know, I just think that.
What do you mean by a reasonable announcement?
I want them to put out the announcements. I don't think it's right to see it on Dave's page. I don't think we should have to go looking for it. You know, that's just my personal opinion. As a guy who's a fan.
You could probably make that.
Fan of the sport.
That's a fair critique. I mean,
but I'm saying that any organization, like big or small, like there's probably AAA baseball teams, right, and major league teams, right? So budgets of all size that do a really good job of social media and information and just these things that are it's like you can't not have it. You can't. It's like not having an HR or not having a whatever. Like it is part of the thing. So to say like we're kind of too busy figuring out, you know, next year's plan or whatever.
I mean, you can just go to CrossFit's YouTube page, not the games, but the regular CrossFit YouTube page. Tell me when the last video was posted.
Yeah.
It's over 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. They should have content flowing.
You go to the CrossFit Games YouTube page and their videos, they've had a handful since semifinals.
I'm sure Dave is super busy, but if Dave said, I'm looking for 2 really good interns, they would S his D to be a part of that and help him do whatever, or whoever, anybody like Dave. Why are you shaking your head?
Who?
Anthony's shaking his head at me. People would
because your anagram there.
I don't know why I cared about cursing all of a sudden, because it's like we talk about how bad Spartan is, right? Like how bad Spartan is, and they only hire basically interns and give people free work, and then they kind of suck at it. But I'm saying even just to get the ball rolling. Anyway, we can talk about something else. Are you excited? You get more and more excited the more these videos come out, Spin. Are you more and more excited about these things that are happening, and you're learning, ooh, this is the event before cuts, and is this an exciting
thing? I mean, this is you know what makes the games exciting, right? Like it's always different. There's, you know, we try to find out hints or things that may be happening, like speculate on, you know, I looked around and found a pool that might have been used for one of the swim events. Like, so there's things to talk about. And then as this stuff kind of comes out, like listening to Dave's interviews, it's actually been better than previous years because you can, like, you're listening for that nugget that's going to give you like, oh, that's really cool just to hear. And then think about more. So, you know, if the event was known or they just laid it out right in front of you. Like, it takes away some of the intrigue, the excitement from it, versus here's a little bit here. We can all talk about it. We can all talk about what the twist is of Chad. We can talk about when it was going to be. We're still talking about what's going to happen at Farrington Field Friday night. There's so many different elements that we can talk about, discuss, and that's what we do on our show. Like, every Wednesday night we do that. Like, it's exciting, right? Versus here's what you're going to do. We'll see you in a month.
So, I didn't hear, and I haven't seen it on there. Are they backfilling the positive drug tests?
Yes, they've backfilled all of them so far. Yeah.
Okay. Because it looks like they're releasing them like by the week. So like 2 weeks ago, the Asia ones came out. Last week, the West came out. And then, so this should be the last week of that?
I don't think you can put a time. You can mark what week or time is anything's going to happen. Like, some of these happen like weeks ahead of time. They're notified, and then they wait 2 weeks and they make the announcement. I think that the last team athlete, I think, had known for a couple weeks. So like, it's not, well, week 1 of semifinals happened. Here it is. Week 2 happened next week. And then week 3, like, I don't know how that order happens. Why, when they get it, do they delay? Sometimes they don't.
I was just wondering about for like backfilling, because if they do backfill, those people that are going to fill in want to know as soon as possible.
Yeah. I mean, what happened with Jason Smith last year, it was so late that the guy from Africa could not backfill for him. And granted, if it was in the United States, probably that person can make it. I mean, Africa was probably a little bit more.
Shouldn't this be something they speed up? Like, everything's decided by July 15th because the games start August 15th or whatever.
I'm sure that takes money.
Oh, to
expedite it.
Yeah. Do you think so? We had our first drug tests over here in Hybrid Land, the HYROX World Champs. We were told the top 5 were tested. One of the guys on this call, his wife was tested, so we know it happened. Should we just never expect to hear if everyone passes? Are we just supposed to think, oh, then everyone just passed, I guess? What would you expect if you were doing what we do?
So what CrossFit has done the last couple of years is twice a year they've put out a list of here are different out of competition tests and who's tested positive or tested negative, so they passed their test. They do that. When it comes to like the games testing, they don't ever make an announcement that they're done. What usually we find out is that the athletes receive their check. Whenever you realize that one of them has received their payout, all of them have received their payout and they're done with that. So that's usually how we figure it out. And it usually is 2-3 months after the fact.
That's what I figured, because I have some athletes that obviously got they're waiting on their checks. And that's like, okay, well, one of them asked me, like, how long do you think it's going to be until they send us like the checks? And I was like, well, probably not until all the drug testing's finalized. They're not going to send out any checks. And so since we haven't seen checks, they're not done.
Yeah. Yeah. It's usually 3 months or so after the fact where the check is sent.
Yeah.
It takes 90 days to get a drug test back?
Well, you got appeals and all that.
If somebody appeals it or something, yeah.
They do the A sample, the B sample, like the Olympics.
Yeah,
I
wonder.
They do the 2 samples. That's usually pretty quick. They'll ask for that. The B sample will come back positive too, and then they'll say, "All right, I need time to appeal. I'm going to go have my different supplements tested by an independent lab to see if it's been contaminated, etc."
I wonder then if there are any athletes that did test positive, they've already been notified.
Possibly. Yep.
So anyway, well,
I don't think there will be any that are going to the games that will come out as a positive test between now. Like, I think those are done.
Yeah, those are probably done. I wonder, Matt, when I wrote the CrossFit Games on our list today, I was more curious what you guys thought about with these events and with the mixture of men, because I couldn't figure out who do you think's going to win. I couldn't figure it out on the men's side. On the women's side, I still think it's Tia with Horvath and Lawson are going to be chasing her, especially with these first two events that are out. Like, I don't see either one of them beating her.
But why would you base that on day one, first two events? I mean, why would you even think about
is it the first two events?
Well, first day events.
It would be event 1 and then the first one on Saturday.
Like event 1 and
1 and 7.
Yeah.
1 and 7.
Yeah.
Because the speculation's fun, and that's why.
Yeah, the speculation, Matt.
Yeah. Nobody will beat Tia in the water. Run, swim, Tia will win that one. Easy.
I mean, yeah, nobody's going to beat Tia, and I don't think anybody's going to beat Tia in the first one. I think Emily Rolfe will do well in the run, but I don't think she'll beat her out of the water. Which, assuming it's 1 scored event and not 2 scored events, that's what matters.
Right. Yeah. No. Tia can hang with Emily pretty well.
Yeah.
That one's easy. The men's side's gonna be a lot more close.
Yeah.
You have James Sprague. You have Brent Fikowski. Those are probably the 2 favorites right now. Ricky Garrard's faster. He probably can be faster on the run, just not as good as the swim. Roman's good. Lazar Jukic is good at running. So I mean, there's a lot of guys that are.
I think Fikowski on the 2 announced events, he's got a leg up just because he's taller. The bigger body the height is better for the box step ups and for the swimming and for the running. Like, he's got a lot of positives on his build for the first 2 events or these announced events.
Yeah. The taller you are and able to run and swim, definitely from seeing these 2.
Dave,
and for Chad, yeah.
Dave, do you think your buddy Vellner is happy that he's heard these 2 events? Because he goes, okay, I always fuck up something day 1. I will probably not fuck up
the swim.
I will not fuck up one of these.
He's messed up the swim before. Like, he's been 32nd out of the swim.
Water.
Yeah.
He's not a bad swimmer either. He just seems to fuck it up.
He must have, I wonder if he just has a bunch of nerves on day 1 and then he's it can't get worse than this, and he fights his way back.
It sure seems that way.
I mean, I don't know if you remember, what was it, 2019, 2018, when Vellner was like the last event and he's on this yoke carry and his weight goes rolling across the whole stadium and he's like chasing it down. Like, that guy, anything that can is Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong for him.
Yes.
Is this his last real shot at it? Do you think this is his last shot? His best shot?
Last year was probably his last real shot. But
Wow. Why do you say that?
There's a lot of young guys come up that are good.
I mean, you still got Jeff, you got Ricky, you got Roman, Justin, you got Dallin Pepper making his charge. Like, there's
Sprague,
there's plenty of guys that are going to be up there. I just don't. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is the time that I don't say he has a shot that he actually does it. But I think it'll be close. Just won't.
My take on it is he can't have the fuck up and contend.
Yeah,
if he has the fuck up. He's
not this year.
He should just go back to Canada.
Yeah,
so I talked to your buddy.
Maple syrup. We're fine. We'll take him.
I talked to your buddy John Young. I just realized I haven't put that out yet. I got to put that out. Quick side note. I'll talk about that later. Forget what I just said. Let's get back to what I was about to say, which is that he was like, I was so fascinated by his mountain conversation, right? And his thoughts behind who belongs where. I thought it was great. That's what made me reach out to him. I mean, he always cracks me up, but the last time you guys did the mountain, we talked. And he says, like, Tia's top of the mountain, but who fucking cares? She's won too many times. Let's move on. Do you agree? Do you think we should let Tia hang in there of course she's going to. Would you prefer she step away after this year? Or do you think, you know what, let's have her reign for a decade?
So if you look at like what Tiger Woods was before his downfall, right? Golf would not be where it was if there was not a Tiger Woods, right? Like, parity is great in theory until there's nobody that makes it exciting, right? And so the interest with Tia is, can anybody hang with her and stay close? Because that's going to be more exciting than if she's not in the competition, right? Like, last year was exciting without her. But imagine if she was there and she edges out Laura Horvath to win her 7th title. Like, that is more exciting than what it was last year.
And everybody's gonna say, yeah, but Tia wasn't there. Like, and so that
Like they already have.
Question. Like, what's that?
Yeah, we still do.
Like they already have.
She's still the fittest in the world, but
so it's like you're just saying that. So you need that person there. I don't know. It's like the dynasty. Like when Tom Brady was playing football, right? And 20 years, 7 titles, 10 championship like runs. You got to think. Every time my team was out, I was like, I just want chaos. I want him to win again, just because you want to see the dynasty.
Right. Look at hybrid. If Hunter had never been in and somebody different won every year, it's hard to talk about those people. But what was this year's world championship exciting? Because Hunter lost. Right? Like everybody's going in there saying Hunter's going to win, and then you're watching this race waiting for it. It doesn't happen. Does that happen with Tia? Right? Like I'd rather her keep going though.
The difference with Tom Brady is that most football games are still close within 3 points or 7 points, right? And Tia wins by hundreds of points. And how many events has she lost? Can you count them on 2 hands?
Oh, yeah. Oh, you mean like total competitions or
just
single
events?
Yeah, I mean, dude, she's done like over hundreds of events at the games.
And she hasn't won every game she's been to.
She wins a lot of events. She doesn't go 13th, 7th, 8th, right?
I mean, what she did at the semifinals this year was pretty unprecedented, where she won every event but one, where she took 3rd. Like that was very, very dominant. But usually she's always just like a top 5 to 10 with a couple event wins, and she wins the whole weekend.
I feel like the last 2 times I've really paid attention. There was one day she didn't even have to perform on the last day if she didn't want to. And the other day
that happens more than you think. Like Rich Froning, when he won, he didn't have to do. He won like every event on Sunday. He was like,
but it wasn't guaranteed.
Yeah, but right, it was always like his last event, he could take it off and he'd be champion still.
Right, because it was close, and then Sunday morning he'd win the first 2, and then the last one was coast. Tia in 22 was actually, I mean, it was pretty close for Tia in 22. She did not start off well. She messed up on the, I think it's skilled medley with the unbroken double or unbroken single unders. And she didn't do well on Elizabeth elevated. So like she didn't finish the way she wanted to. And so like, it's not guaranteed that she's going to come back and dominate. I think she's still going to win. I think she still will dominate, but it's not guaranteed. And her being in it makes it exciting to look for that.
I hope it's exciting. I hope it's close. I hope somebody comes out and kicks ass and we think, holy shit.
That's what we want. We want it to be close and have Tia in there.
Yes.
I don't want Tia to not be there because she's won so many times and it'd be close.
Yeah. Yeah. As someone who's like, I'm a fan of Laura. I like Laura. I like Emma. Tia, great respect for her, but just something about her. I'm just not as big a fan, but I want her there so that they can chase her.
So it's like that thing though. Like,
you don't want to just win by default. You don't want her to step aside and then get your win, because that leaves the question forever. I want them to have to beat her. And the more Tia beats the other people, just the more respect you got to give her. So the dynasty is great. And the best part about a dynasty is when someone finally ends it.
Right. I think if she wins this year, it's call it a day. You're the best woman who ever did this. Go have more kids.
Why would she though? She could keep going. Like, why not? Why would you call it a day?
It's not like it'll taint her legacy.
What's that?
It's not like it will taint her legacy to hang on for another year.
Yeah, she could keep going.
Yeah. The best years have always been when there's been some type of a dynasty, right? When after in the women's side for the longest it was just a new person every year.
Yeah.
So we always focused on Rich, and then it was Ben and Matt forever. Like in the women, it was going through a whole bunch of athletes, and then a couple back-to-backs, and then Tia took over, right? So like, but it was much more exciting to watch Rich. It was much more exciting to see Matt start to make his run than the parity.
But don't we love that? Like Matt won, was it 5?
Yes.
5.
He won one more than Rich, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And he called it a day. It's like, all right, cool, I'm done. It's awesome. Right after the sunset. And just have a great life. You can still do tons in the space, right? He's going to be a part of CrossFit forever. That's just
it's always interesting to me because now you have those arguments like, well, Rich won 4 and one of them he beat Matt. But if Rich had kept going, Matt won 5. Would Rich have beat Matt later in their career when they were doing it together? And now, like, you have those arguments, and it's kind of the same thing on the men's side almost happened because you went from Rich, and then you had Matt. They were like, everybody was like, oh, he failed to win because it was like basically handing it over. But Ben Smith took the win again, and then Matt goes on 5, and then you have Justin Medeiros do 2, and it was like, oh, we have another one. Like on the men's side, it just seemed like, oh, we're just going to have one dominant person.
But then it was great. It was great that he didn't win again. I like parity, except for when it's Tom Brady. I want to ask you one more exciting.
You like parity when the person who was winning a lot is still there, but they have to still be winning. Like you like parity if Tia comes in second this year.
Don't tell me what I like.
But if Tia's not there, it's not.
You're not the boss.
Not as interesting.
All right, Brian. One more CrossFit related thing, and then we'll let you go. Thanks for jumping in here, short notice. CrossFit legend Jason Khalipa said he is going to come and do a HYROX doubles. I want these guys to do singles before they do doubles, but I think if you look at the clip, his co-host, who's also apparently a big deal, or NC Fit is apparently a big deal.
NC Fit is a very big gym.
Yeah. His co-host convinced him like, okay, let's do it together. And so now he's doing it together.
He's going to probably have fun. It's expresses fitness, have fun. Like he's in a much different place. He did a different podcast. I can't remember who it was with a month or 2 ago. And basically it was like, I just like doing jujitsu, getting in the gym with my kids. He has like some men's group he does like a Saturday morning thing now. Like he's just doing it to have fun, stay healthy.
Yeah.
Build
he's
community,
not going
that type
to be
of thing.
Super competitive in it.
He has no interest.
So basically it's like HYROX is like just like a 5K to some of these people. Like, it's something to do this weekend. Let's test my fitness out. Let's see how I can.
But that's no different than when the hybrid people go and take some CrossFit classes or go on a local comp. Like you can't focus on both. Not at the high level. You gotta be dialed in, or you're not going to be super competitive.
I mean, at some point, it would be a quality problem for us over here if we didn't notice. But from now on, anytime anybody says they're doing it, my DMs blow up. Like, did you see this? This person's doing HYROX.
I mean, it does draw attention to HYROX. I mean, Khalipa's he's still around. He's just not he's kind of separated himself from
CrossFit Games 16 years ago.
Right. So like, we still know about him, but he's not in the news very often.
Did he de-affiliate back when?
He de-affiliated years ago, then he came back. So.
Do you own an affiliate, Brian?
I do not.
Did you used to?
No.
Have you thought about it?
Yes, but I have not. I have too much on my plate. I don't need to go try to. It's one of those things that sounds great, but then you do it and then it takes up all your time and it's just not worth it.
Do you have your media pass for the CrossFit Games?
I do.
That's exciting.
I guess.
You bring in the whole team? You bring in John and all those guys?
Oh, we'll be all that. We'll be out there. And we'll have a big announcement here coming soon.
Oh, is this going to be like I'm going to see you with like a big stupid table, like that level of stuff? Like this one's brought.
I don't know what a big stupid table is, but
when you get the big stupid table and then you put the product, whoever's sponsoring that particular program, like, hey, it's Friday and that's sponsored by Gainful. And on Saturday,
it'll be bigger than that. So,
will your announcement be done on your own personal page, or will it be done on the Barbell Spin?
It'll be on the Barbell Spin.
He doesn't have a personal page. He is Spin. We don't even know his fucking name.
That's right.
It's Brian something.
Exactly. How it should be. How it should be. But no, I'll be down there in Fort Worth. So will Tyler. So will John.
The biggest question is, do you follow anybody on Instagram, or do you just have 0 following?
Like Dave?
Oh no, I follow everybody. You gotta stay up to speed.
Yeah. Right. If you're not so full of yourself that you think everything you do turns to gold, you can actually follow the people. All right, dude. Listen, thanks for hopping on. Appreciate you. Spin.
Yeah, man.
Nice
Well,
meeting
have
you.
fun chatting.
See you later.
See you guys later. See you.
Bye. All right. Big shout out for Spin hopping on. He kept commenting, and I was like, oh, just come on with us. That was
I
a
like
pleasant
the
surprise.
Clock comment. Khalifa will shoot for 2-hour HYROX.
Sub
A
2 hours.
2 hour
Yeah.
HYROX.
Sub 2 hour.
I mean, that's good. The guy's like 215 pounds. Like, I'm sure he doesn't run a bunch. That's good. I mean, completing a HYROX now is like, hey, I'm going to go complete my half marathon. Like, everybody goes and does that.
Right.
I think it's great. I think it's awesome.
All right. Who wants to talk about the DEKA Ultra happening this weekend? I would love to talk about it.
I'm down with that.
We got the list of names. Did you get the link? I sent you guys a link of names.
I pulled it up.
Yes.
I didn't recognize all the names, so I'm sorry. I only recognize a few.
Well, that's okay.
Bethany McChesney.
Well, before
Not
that,
familiar with her work.
Not familiar?
one
I
point
think she's going to do really well.
one thing I noticed today before we talk about the names is they posted 2 big ugly red rams as the winning things, or if you sub 50 or something.
Yeah, sub 320, sub 3 hour.
Come on now. I'm no artist, but come on.
I like prizes that are pieces of workout equipment. Okay. When
I do too, but make it pretty.
When I did events, when we had events, we put on our local CrossFit competitions down in Vegas. I spray painted dumbbells for first place, second place, third place.
Dude, I just gave out hand painted spikes, okay, for my Run the ATL race, okay. Like I'm a big fan.
What kind of spikes?
I'll show you. Present, share screen.
Uh-oh.
How do you not follow my other business?
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So I get
Railroad
these spikes off the railroad because Run the ATL used to be a lot more on railroad tracks, and every year I paint them different colors. And then
Matt's just out there with a crowbar wrenching up the tracks,
causing many derailments.
I'm that strong.
The
equipment itself is cool, but they just chose red and this odd tone of red. It just didn't seem like a cool thing to me.
I like the concept. I do get what you're saying, where you maybe don't like the artistic merit of it, and maybe they could, get somebody to jazz it up a little bit. I'm with you with the point. Like, you could probably hire some college student for a sandwich to airbrush something cool on it, or a graffiti artist or whatever to go so be art. But I like the concept of the sub thing. Like, it's not even for winning. It's if you can break this.
Yeah, I like the idea. It's like that's their time, and we're already established a time. Now you have to go run below it, and you get this awesome ram. Like, and I like the idea of the ram just because. I mean, it doesn't have to look pretty because I actually want to use it. I don't want it to be pretty and go mess it up. Like, I want to use it.
Do you use any of Lauren's trophy rams?
We have one of them that we use. Yes.
Okay. I have a couple. I have not used the trophy rams for workouts.
There's one that's more dirty than the rest, and that's the one we've used.
Yeah. Well, and I have like one of my own, and then we actually have one of Vivian Tafuto's because she couldn't get it on the plane.
So use that one. Like that. Yeah,
that's Vivian's. One day I hope to get it back to her.
Which one of you is unicorn? Which one of you is bat? See
what?
This? When you're logged in, can you see this?
Oh, no.
So idea. I see Matt B. Davis, and I see anonymous bat, but I don't see anything else. So does that mean I'm unicorn?
That means you're unicorn, Dave. You're the bat.
Sweet. I'm Hiller.
All right. So here's the women. Let's look at the women. Skylar Allen, Julie Best, Alaya Figueroa, Hannah. How do you say that? How do you say Hannah's name?
Francois.
Jessica Lister, the one, the only Bethany McChesney, Julie Rakow, Lauren Rentala, Aaron Rock, Kelly Sullivan, Janelle
Lauren Rentala, Team USA.
Lisa. How do you say Lisa's last name? Does anybody know?
Warzanowski. Yeah.
And Heather White. So wait, you claim both Heather White and Bethany, don't you, Dave?
Yeah, those are Team OFX ladies. Back-to-back world champions.
All right. Well,
world record holders.
I mean, I don't know everybody else, so somebody could surprise me, but the names that jump out at me, obviously Heather, Kelly Sullivan, Lauren Rentala, Julie Best, Bethany McChesney.
Should we describe, Dave, can you describe the DEKA Ultra so people know exactly what it is?
So the DEKA Ultra is in essence 5 back-to-back DEKA fits. So you'll run through your 500 meters and go through the stations just like a regular DEKA fit, and then you will proceed to do 4 more. Then there's a pit area as well, so you can pit. You can get refreshments, moral support, whatever you need. But yeah, it's a very simple concept, and yeah, it's just 5 back-to-back. So you're going to run 25K, and you'll be doing 5 of each station.
You do it in order.
Yep, you're doing it in order.
Okay, you can't do like all the bike at once.
No. That would be pretty rough anyway if you were to run all the running, But it promises to be. This is something that we hear all the time. It's not an ultra because you're only running 25K. Great, it's not an ultra. It's the DEKA Ultra.
By the way, there might be more than this. These are the names that I was highlighted by Yancey. So if you're watching this, and you know more people, then let us know.
So Ryan Reed just asked a really good question here too. Can you only pit after each full DEKA fit, or can you pit at any time? And it'll be straight up, I do not know for sure. I'm waiting to hear back on that.
I think it's only after every full fit, because like we were looking into this. Lauren Griffith and my wife were both thinking about going, ended up not. But
I think that would make it the most fair. But I guess it wouldn't matter. Well, no, because otherwise they have to come in and out.
They have to go through the finish line back.
Yeah,
to
the timing ship. Yeah, so
I think that's where the
right.
I think that's where the pits are.
A little birdie told me, Dave, that you might be providing live coverage. Is that possible?
Yeah, I think I am. Let's just say that it was not as prepared. It was supposed to happen, then it wasn't, and now it is supposed to happen. So yeah, it will be with OCR Report, and it won't be the full to do. It'll be like classic one-man show Dave, like I used to do in the beginning.
Dave, I want you running with the leader every single lap.
So you're gonna have a rabbit there, and you're gonna be at home, or you're gonna be there?
No, I'm gonna be there, literally doing the one-man show, like I've done in the past.
How long is that drive, Dave?
6.5 hours.
How long?
6.5.
That's it?
Yeah, it's not too bad. 6.5, 7 hours. That's the most.
Where's this race again?
Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Dude, you're closer than I am.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It takes you less time to drive there than it would take me to fly there.
Yeah. This is one of those ones that I can beat you if you fly. So
old school Dave. So IG live or YouTube or
YouTube.
Just okay. So you will. Okay.
Yeah. So
all right. Well,
basically, yeah. So I'm gonna do the elite men and women on Saturday,
right?
And then I'm not sure if they plan to do the entire elite ultra, but I'm leaning towards if OCR Report does not do that, I might do it on OFX.
Okay, so I thought we were just talking about the ultra. So you're going to show the regular
one
on Saturday.
Yeah,
okay, that's YouTube OCR Report. Sunday is the ultra, maybe IG live. That's a long time.
It'll be YouTube as well.
Okay, but that's a long time to be running around.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be there anyway. And
okay.
It is what it is. We'll do what we can.
Okay.
Or we'll do what I can.
All right.
I'm not going to be chasing the leaders. I'll be going zone to zone.
Right. All right. We could talk about, I completely forgot that there's like a regular race happening.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I have to go back to my sheet then, but let's talk about the men. Bam. Look at that. Oops. Did it switch? All right. Should we talk about the favorites?
Well, you got Dylan Scott right there.
Well, is Dylan a favorite after they didn't do their marathons this last weekend because of he had to pull out? So I'm wondering.
Yeah, what a pussy he is.
No, he had an issue. So I'm wondering.
Stop arguing with me. You're not my boss.
Well, I'm not going to call him that. So
he's a pussy. Everybody knows that.
What are the names you recognize?
Dylan, big pussy. Kevin Gregory, even bigger.
He is bigger.
I'm going to vote for Dave Werfel. Dave is an awesome guy. He's always commenting on our Instagram, and so I'm a big Dave Werfel fan. So I'm gonna vote for Dave Werfel, not a pussy.
Isaac Sanderson does really well.
Ooh, yeah. Isaac also not a pussy. We like Isaac a lot.
Yeah, if Dylan's ankle is better, he's gonna be really good. But otherwise, I just don't know how that'll impact him, especially because of the long duration.
some of the guys here that you might not expect some great things out of, or maybe you don't know. Brian Neely is in incredible shape right now. He's got a chance to do really well.
What about your Canadian buddy up here,
Tyler
Peressini?
I believe he routinely wins the stair climb up the CN Tower. So I mean, dude's got stamina. He's runs a lot of the ultras out here. Mark Polzin, representing the
Dave. What's up? I didn't even know you were watching, Dave, and I said such nice things about you. Or did somebody? Were your ears buzzing?
Grady Jackson has constantly surprised every time. Everything he's done, Grady Jackson's been surprising. So you might not really think of him right away, but he's an interesting guy. And again, dark horse, Ryan Reed. He commented earlier. Ryan Reed, he can run, and he's nice and steady. He's very young. He's got a lot of potential.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see. You know, we always talk about who goes out too hot in a regular DEKA or a regular HYROX. This will be very interesting to see how people pace, because I'm guessing nobody's done it before, right? Maybe they've done a sim somewhat like it.
Yeah,
because obviously, like you would say, I'm joking, by the way, for those that don't know, you would definitely say Dylan, Isaac, Kevin. But what if like somewhere in lap 3, shit just locks up and they're like, all right, I'm done. And then some of these other guys who went slow and steady would win it.
Now, a guy like Kevin who has done these before and longer, he's got experience with it.
Who does?
Kevin.
He's done multi-DEKA ultras.
Yeah, because I'm sorry, I'm gapping on the name of the gym, but they hosted DEKA ultras before just to end their gym. So he's done this style of event with the DEKA thing. And no one's more familiar with how to pace themselves in the zone. So, you know, you cannot, despite the fact normally we would count Kevin out because of the foot speed, you can't on this.
Right. And even he, though, even though having done it, again, something can, anytime you're putting the longer you go, the more things can go sideways.
I'd be curious with Anthony, to his opinion, how do you pace the bike for this? Because everything else is pretty easy to pace, but the bike is such a high effort reward. Do you put a little extra into it, say, compared to like the row or the ski, you're just going to dial it back. But the bike, you can still.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're going to dial it back, and your pace overall is probably going to be slower on average, but can you recover just as much? So I don't know. If it was me, I would probably hit the bike my first 2 DEKAs just as hard as normal, and then not as hard in the next 2, and then probably hard on the last one, because you're going to be coming in hot depending on where you're at in the race. Like, so it'll really depend on where you're in the race. Like, if you know that, because nobody's going to be sprinting the D balls, nobody's going to be sprinting, and your runs are going to be a little bit more relaxed. So you could probably hit the bike with a little more energy because you're going to be able to recover more. So it won't cost you as much. But at the same time, you know, there's that whole like power output over a short amount of time or lower power output for a longer amount of time. What hurts you more?
Well, Ryan Reed says bike and burpees is where I found you have to lay off the regular DEKA FIT pace the most.
I mean, yeah, the burpees definitely. Nobody's going to be sprinting the burpees the way they do in a DEKA FIT.
So Dust to Glory's version was 1,000 meters of running, correct? Weren't you there, Dave?
No, I wasn't.
No,
I do believe that theirs was actually a true ultra in the fact that it was 50K.
That's what I'm saying. It was 1,000. Yeah. It's double the running, and then some of the weights were different.
Yeah. So anyway, the guys who have done that and the girls who have done that, I think, have a distinct advantage because they have tested the limits and they have an idea of how to do their pacing.
I mean, I don't know. If you look at it though, if you take it easy on the bike, it could take you 2 minutes versus if you just hit the bike hard, it could take you 30 seconds or less. Like,
well, what if you're somebody like Heather White? Okay, so you're somebody like Heather White, and I think a lot of the ladies will take 3 minutes on the bike.
Yeah.
And you're Heather, you know that if you give it and you just give it at the station, you can make up 2 minutes. Is it worth it to save? Yeah, but then
the question is, what does it tax you afterwards? Like, if you can hit it on the bike and then still come within 5% of your normal speed on the next run and 5% of your normal next station, and then you're good for the rest of the race, do that. If you can't, if you're giving up too much in those next 2 or 3 things, you have to go a slower pace. So it's going to depend on the person and where their strength lies. I bet you Bubbles, he goes into it. His worst bike is probably going to be 30 seconds.
Yeah, I could see that. And I mean, he'll make up a minute.
Hey, I mean, 5 DEKA fits, he's going to make up probably a minute over 5 DEKA fits. He's going to make up 5 minutes in the bike alone, maybe 7. Just by the way he does it.
It'll be interesting. Yeah. So it was 1,000 meters for everyone. Yeah.
All the weights were not the same, Dave. They're different than the DEKA fit. I'm almost positive.
All the weights were the same.
All the weights were the same each time, but I don't think they were the same as a regular DEKA fit. I thought he definitely changed it. I'm going to have to go look later. But let's talk about, do you want to talk about the regular DEKA?
Do you got a list for who's in that?
I do, but unfortunately the women, there's like 4 women he listed.
I think for a change, this is going to be the All-Star event. And I know I think
Kevin's doing this. Kevin and Dylan are also doing the singles. So is Polson. So is a lot of these people. Nick Riker is only doing the singles.
Heather and Bethany are doing the relay the day before.
Okay.
I don't see that impacting them because they'll be ready for the ultra anyway. It's one event versus they're training for an ultra. It's not going to impact them. It's probably a good day before stuff.
Which categories are you going to do, Dave?
I'm just doing the relay. That's it.
That's it?
Yep, just the relay. I don't intend to run the fit at Worlds, so I have no need to do a solo fit. Who are you racing with? I am racing with my old podcast partner, Juan Carlos Obando.
Wow, look at that.
Yep. So we are gunning for a solid.
You're not stealing any of the really good women.
No. I've retired from taking the elite women as partners to drag me along. No, I gave Bethany her freedom so that her and Heather could chase all 3.
That is so noble of you, Dave.
I know. And it wasn't at all that Bethany told me I was slow and had to go away. It actually wasn't. No, yeah. So I wanted to chase the age group one. So Juan and I are going to chase the age group. And
how many are you already qualified for?
I am qualified currently for solo ruck strong, for age group ruck strong, for relay mile, and I think that's it. Those are the only ones I've run this year.
Did you mean fit ruck strong?
Fit ruck strong? Now you're just making
you said the same thing twice.
Solo ruck strong.
Okay.
Right? And then age group strong.
Okay, you said ruck twice.
Right.
The first time. It's okay.
So solo ruck strong.
We are keeping Anthony awake here.
Mile.
It's only 4:30. Have you been awake with the baby or with the small child?
No, I just already did my threshold runs for the day. Got more to do tonight, but not a lot of sleep.
So
working, toiling away.
Matt, why aren't you in this? This used to be your thing. You could do like an ultra stuff. That was you got to get into this.
You got to do the ultra
goal for next year. Is to get into the ultra one nice and slow and steady.
Look, as soon as they have it in a city that's accessible easily by a cheaper airport, I'm there.
Yeah, I was gonna say I looked at pricing out all the trips. Fort Wayne the most expensive, and I don't know if you heard, Dave. I'm a hybrid athlete now. I'm not an ultra runner anymore. I've retired pretty much from
the ultra hybrid.
That's right.
I'm in the under an hour, under 2 hours domain these days.
Look,
I think I've done training for ultras for a while.
I really like this event, and if it was anywhere easily accessible, we'd be at it.
I'm really glad that Dave is going to broadcast it.
Do you think that this is a viable thing for them to do, say, 3 times a year next year?
No. Unless they gave away like some big money, which, have we announced that? Aren't they giving away big money for it?
Yeah, it's like double a regular DEKA.
2,000, 1,500, right?
I think so.
To me, it's kind of like
it would be really cool if they had this at World Championships and you could like qualify for it and it was part of the World Championships on a different day, or they had their own separate World Championships for it. Like it would be neat.
You would have to have people going constantly.
Yeah. I really like the ultra events. I like the 3 hour time domain, the 2 to 3 hour time domain, maybe the 4-hour time to main event. Like that kind of stuff is really intriguing. I think it's really awesome. And I like seeing the run with the movements hybrid for a long duration. I really do wish it was somewhere accessible.
Yeah, I think you would have seen if they did it, let's say in Philly, where there was supposed to be this crazy teams thing that didn't happen. Like that would have been the place to do it. Because there's not enough people to make it. It's already a niche on a niche.
But
now you've got a niche on a niche in a tiny venue or a tiny city that nobody knows.
You have isn't the complete list of people going
for the elite. No, I know it's not the complete.
Okay. Yeah, because I was gonna say because they got, as far as I know, they almost sold it out, didn't they?
Well, I don't know what an almost sell it is, but again, you're not talking a ton of people.
No, and that's why I never think it'll be at a Worlds thing because you have to get a whole day for it and just
so
financially.
Dave, you said if there could be 3 of them. I don't know. It would depend on the venue because they're not going to rent the Anaheim Convention Center for a whole extra day to run this because it's probably not beneficial for them at that point. But any of the venues that they already have for a DEKA FIT where they can tack on an extra day and make it work, I think they'll do it. And there could be 3 of them. And if they announce it early, I bet you it becomes a hit. People would like it. I would like it. I mean, I know a lot of athletes would want to go to it.
Yeah, but they're not. But they haven't broke 1,000 on a regular DEKA FIT yet.
Yeah. No. Well, I mean, I think if DEKA FIT separates from Spartan, they do better.
Well, I mean, because if they got like their own budgets and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many people do you think you could get through in a DEKA FIT? How many people do you think, like, if you're running it, do you think you could put through?
How many people?
Yeah, because like Matt says, right, maybe they get like 500 people max. How many do you think you could put through?
It all depends on the amount of equipment you have, but I mean, at the Anaheim Convention Center, there was a whole bunch of extra space. You could literally put 15 people through every 15 minutes for all day.
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess
that's 60 people an hour. So if you only do 8 hours worth, and it's all individual, you're looking at like 480 people, right?
I think you need to have. I think the max you can have is about 15 stations, 15 lanes, because of the way their indoor footprint is set up, right? Unlike HYROX, who can constantly expand their footprint, DEKA can't expand their footprint.
So maybe they don't need to do every 15 minutes. They might be able to run a heat every 10 minutes.
But then
Dave, you've been to a bunch of DEKAs. What do they do now? How many minutes apart do they separate them?
I want to say like 12. And sometimes they'll wait a little bit in case, there's a backlog. They do it different where they send the fastest wave first too, which helps a lot.
Well, I mean, look at Worlds. However they did Worlds, that would be about how many, right? That's a good gauge. Right?
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, that's probably
Worlds. They have singles and doubles, and it starts at 7:15 and goes until 8p or whatever. 7p.
I mean, look, if they had the room that they have in Anaheim, that venue was big. They had a lot of extra open space. I know that they have like there's certain layouts, so they make you do 2 laps of everything. But in that venue, they might be able to do a single lap, put 30 of the stations in there, and you could have over 1,000 people go through.
That would completely change the tone of the relays, though. You wouldn't be able to do the relays then, because the relays, right? You get the handoff halfway on the run.
Well, the handoff would have to be at one side or the other.
Run across the thing to get to the handoff.
That would change the relays.
Yeah, but I get where you're going, though. I get where you're going. For solos, that would work. And I mean, over in Spain, they do 3 laps, right? So,
yeah. How do they do the relays in Spain then with 3 laps?
I have no idea.
They're not all 3 laps.
Most of the ones in Spain are 3 laps.
Okay. Hey, speaking of that, are you aware of the DEKA Cup happening?
Yeah.
DEKA Cup Spain. Would you like to describe the DEKA Cup Spain while I bring it up on the Instagram?
I don't know if I can describe the whole thing, but I do know what the original.
Can you subscribe it in Spanish, please?
Oh yeah, absolutely. No hablo español. No, I do know the original concept was to have a European versus North American. That was last year, and that didn't come to fruition. But now I believe it is country against country, and they're going to have teams of 4 all Spain events or 3 laps. I thought so, but I couldn't say for sure. Thanks, Patrick. So it's going to be a country versus country team thing, is it not?
Hang on a second, because this is a teams thing they have. Where did it go?
And I think so. Just while you're doing that, the reason I believe they do the 3-lappers in Spain is because almost every event is like a trifecta or a decafecta, whatever you want to say. So in order to transition from the fit to the mile, all you have to do is instead of running 3 laps, you run 1. You don't have to do a changing setup for the venue. And they usually have them in almost like hockey arenas. So they got like some really cool venues in Spain. I would like to see them get a little more coverage and a little more better live streams going on. I think they could have really good events.
Yeah, they have like layouts of these cool venues. I don't know why they haven't done that yet. And they have
I'm just curious, Dave, are you okay with that they just take it down to 1 lap? Because 160 times 3 is only 480. It's not 500 meters. So where's those extra 20 meters coming from?
Well, theoretically, if you back the zones in further, you can make up the thing into the transitions into the zones.
Okay.
If they've done that. I would, to be honest, I would prefer everything was the same because that's what they usually do best. That is the one thing that DEKA has over HYROX. Yeah. They do best. But
okay, I got it.
Maine has done it this way so they can access different venues, which I get. And for the most part, I think their events have proven to actually be slower.
Yeah.
Because of
more turns.
Well, they did one. They did one outside. I know that. All right, so here we go. DEKA Cup. How to qualify? You must earn your mark in an international competition through FIT or Teams Co-ed. Just Co-ed? That's interesting. You must complete at least one in DEKA Spain to make that mark, counted before DEKA Madrid. Your DEKA mark should be in the top 10 ranking overall. You could qualify at Valencia, which is May 11th, and Zaragoza on the 29th. Can you explain this to me? DEKA FIT or DEKA Teams Co-ed? Am I saying this right? Am I reading this properly?
Man, sweet. That's what it says. So maybe there is a solo, and then there as well as a relay. So the relay might, for this particular DEKA Cup thing, might only be open to the co-eds.
So you qualify. I'm so confused. Hang on. See, I wanted to talk about this. Okay, let me go to the Zendesk. Nope, that's the American version.
Yeah, I don't think this will be on the Zendesk because this is like a different thing, I think.
The Spain Zendesk?
I don't know. Is there a Spain 10 Zendesk? And if so, will you be able to read it?
Yeah, I'm so confused. All right, well, if anybody knows about the DEKA Spain, if you're listening to this after the fact, then let us know.
Yeah, like I said, the original DEKA Cup they were going to do would have been very cool,
but now this isn't even
it's something.
The teams thing they changed it from USA versus the world to like Spain versus Europe, but this is something else. This is how you fare in the other DEKAs. No, I have to look this up. Damn it! Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Why are you looking at me like that? Somebody just scared the shit out of me.
Is that what it was? Sound like somebody put a whoopee cushion under your chair.
No. Somebody banged on the wall right here. Yeah, every time I hit DEKA Cup, I keep pulling up the DEKA Ultra.
Yeah. We'll get more information on it and talk about it another time.
All right, we'll get more information on it. So something else that we wanted to talk about that Dave wanted, what's his name? What's your name? Anthony wanted to talk about was the upcoming Rally in the Valley, which is in a couple weeks. We know who's going, or at least who says they're going now. He says,
right?
Yeah, he kept adding more people, and then people drop out, and he added people back. And so now he's finalized the list, which means it still could change, but this is in terms of like people getting their names on the swag and all that fun stuff. So do you have that list in front of you? Or do you want me to pull it up?
I don't have a list in front of me. I have Rally in the Valley on Instagram I can go to and look at his. Do you have it?
Hang on a second. Patrick, you seem to know a lot. Patrick, what's your role? Because Patrick's answering a lot of good questions. Patrick, this is something that Spain team is doing. No idea how it really works. I just give them the results. Give them the results. Are you the results guy, Patrick? Are you the guy that updates the website every single weekend with everybody's stuff? If you do, God bless you. You are doing the Lord's work.
I actually think
or
he's
the
trying to
Devils.
go to that race.
DEKA Ultra is also called the Ultra World Cup, so definitely confusing. Do you know, is this who Patrick is, by the way, Dave? Did I get that correctly? Is he the guy that updates the website every week?
No, not
with
as
the
far
times?
as I know. No.
Well, Pat, he knows something. Timing operations manager. Well, welcome
Get
to the
out.
program, Dave. Globally.
Globally, okay.
Globally, motherfucker.
I've had
Let's go, Patrick.
I have dealings with the person who helps do the leaderboard for, we'll call that domestically then.
Domestically for Canada or domestically for North America?
I would say North America.
Patrick, what other secrets can you tell us? You don't even know what the Spain team is doing. All right, can you find out? Patrick, can you send me a DM? Drop in my DMs later. Okay, we'll see if we can figure this out.
So,
all right, let's talk about Ralley.
Do we know the events for Ralley, or are they a secret?
That's what we definitely want to talk about. We know the events.
We know the names of the events.
We know he's been posting everything. Let me pull this up. You guys.
Has he? I just pulled it up. Event 1, Liquid
Share your
Death.
screen.
Event 2.
Can you share your screen? So I don't have to keep doing it. Watch this. Hang on. Whoa. Hey, look at this. I moved. Whoa. Magic. Look at that.
You're not moving.
I'm not
You're
moving?
not doing anything.
No.
It's not really moving.
I'm sharing my screen.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing's happening. There you go.
Okay. I'm going to be right back. Why don't you start discussing these events? Because I got to go figure something out. I'll be right back.
Well, he said he knew. He said he knew what the events were, but I've only seen the names of the events. So let's see if they're posted somewhere around here.
I think those are just people announcing they're going. What if you go back?
Yeah.
Let's go back, because there was a couple that on the list of the names there that seem, for example, Wet Karen. You could probably surmise what that one is.
Swimming Karen.
Yeah. So what is Karen?
I think so Karen's 150 wall balls for time. I mean, I'm not going to take credit for anything, but I think I told him at a Frogman event I did years ago, we had to do Karen, and anytime you broke, you had to swim 50 yards down and back. So the goal, and they considered breaking, so not just dropping the wall ball or not just putting the med ball down or anything. If you got a no rep, that was a break and you had to go swim.
Interesting. I think I would prefer it if it was more like so you say it's 150 wall balls for time. If it was something along the lines of, 50 broken up with a swim in between, something along that lines
every 50 you had to do a swim.
Exactly. Something like that, because I prefer that. The break thing, I mean, that does.
Well, if you go swim, you get all wet, and then it's hard to hold. You're slipping with the ball and everything. So, if you break once, you're more likely to break again.
Anybody who's grabbed the sweaty ones at the end of a HYROX knows that, right?
Yeah,
that thing's hard to.
Yeah, I like this guy's comment. Houston, Texas. He says, "Karen in a splash pad with a giant water bucket that'll dump on you." So, that would be super fun.
There you go.
Yeah, but I mean, some of these you could probably maybe guess, but event 5 is going to have rowing in it, I'm going to assume, and some sort of toss. So, yeah, I don't know what they're testing. And then also, are these all 9 events that everybody does, and then they do the same bracket as they did last year? Or is it 9 events and the winner after 9 events? Or is there going to be a playoff type thing again?
I don't know. You know what I don't see here, though, is something that's just like a straight lifting event. Didn't last year they have they
had a 3 rep max front squat or something?
Yeah. And I don't see
I mean, by the names, I can't tell if there is one. Like hinge pin could be a lift. Never ending run, I'm assuming, is just last man stand running. Last man
Probably
stand
not a lift.
standing run. Last year, the first 4 events on the first day were all the running events and the one memory test.
All right, go to if you go to the top shared top left post, the very first post, performance standard. That's a whole workout. Don't listen to it. Keep the volume off, but read. You can read that. That's down under. That's an actual workout.
Down under. So this is event not on here.
All right, we'll go back and read it. See if it makes sense. Because I thought for sure he said this is a workout that we're going to have.
3 rounds for time. 6 burpee box jumps, 10 power cleans, rest 5 minutes, or rest until the 5-minute mark. 3 rounds for time, 10 echo bike, 20 alternating dumbbell snatches.
But then you don't see it on there.
Power cleans 135. Alternating dumbbell snatches. I don't see the weight for the dumbbells.
50 pounds, 35 pounds.
Oh, there you go. Oh,
I mean, it's high power output. The top athletes are definitely going to be finishing it in under the 5-minute cap. Probably get about a minute of rest before they go into, maybe even longer than that. Probably get more than a minute of rest. Maybe a minute and a half of rest, followed by the echo bike with the dumbbell snatches. Again, you're looking at like a 3 to 4 minute workout. So
I like that one.
Maybe even faster. Wow, that second part might be. They're going to be some of those guys will go sub 3.
So I like this, and I'm all for it. But when we call it hybrid, how do you define that compared? How is it not CrossFit?
I mean, my question is this a CrossFit event or a hybrid event?
Matt?
I'm too busy looking at posts. What's the question? I thought for sure he announced workouts on some of these other posts. I've been scrolling for like the last year.
So this, like, I mean, if we're talking about,
because he has told me stuff, by the way, that I can't say.
Mm-hmm.
So he has told me stuff. So I was looking to see what was actually posted.
A CrossFit event for people who aren't good at CrossFit. I'm down with that, Marcus. That sounds right to me.
Well,
fast, unskilled CrossFit.
There's a lot more running in this, and so it's definitely, I would say, certain events are hybrid events.
Yes.
But overall, I think it's that question: is this hybrid fitness racing or is it multi-event sport?
That's what I call them, right?
Yeah.
Multi-event fitness competitions. Coin the phrase.
I'm calling it a hybrid fitness event. Rally in the Valley is giving away cash. I noticed that in the post from earlier. $1,000 for first place, plus some other first, second, third, and then plus some other, what do you call it? I guess bonus, like event win kind of prizes. I thought for sure he posted some of these because, like I said, I know them, but I can't say.
Well, I haven't seen posts with them.
I guess I was wrong then.
I do look at Race Brain, and I'm not a fan of the memory thing.
It's Race Brian.
Race Brian. Oh, geez. See, I'm also dyslexic.
Well, he could have spelled it wrong. I should ask him. I should text him and ask him.
Well, I think isn't Race Brain sponsoring one of the events? Didn't they make one of the events for this?
That was the other one.
Oh, that was not this? Okay.
That was
I'm with you, Dave. I'm not a big fan of like memory test in a workout event, but
I'm a fan of that porn stash he's got going. Go back to that. We see his face.
He's probably go back to the firefighter mustache.
I'm going. Yeah. That's porn stash.
There's Shot Fire Fitness.
What was the one that everybody's hands got ripped up on? That was the ones that were supposed to do a race
Grit Games.
Grit Games was supposed to do a Race Brain inspired workout.
Oh, okay.
I liked Grit Games, other than the hand ripping thing.
Dude, you're the one that wanted to talk about this. God damn it!
I was curious if you guys knew anything. I saw it was coming up.
I know a lot of stuff I can't say. I you know what I bet? I bet I could get Matt Stevens as a guest next week, and he would give us some hints. What do you think about that?
There you
Let's
go.
do that. That sounds good.
All right. Hey Siri, text Matt Stevens.
All right.
And then you can see the athletes that are going.
Yeah, go through some of these athletes because that's what we want to
Yeah, do that. Go through the athletes while I'm texting him.
Heather White's going.
Timo FX.
Katie Simonson.
Yeah, Katie there.
Simonson.
Katie's got a solid CrossFit background.
She'll probably do pretty well.
Yep.
Morgan Schultz.
Yep. Always great.
Chris Balvin. And Cara. I'm sorry, I'm just highlighting people that I know. Jess Petro's going and Ted. So the Petros.
Mike Mariala, Lauren Rentala.
Jareen.
Oh, Daniel Hickman.
Dan Hickman.
What about last year's
The Polans.
what about last year's winner, Lauren Weeks? Is she
I
going?
think we were asked, but tickets are super expensive to fly there, so I think they're still undecided.
The artist formerly known as Corinna Coffin.
Yep. Corinna.
Kurt Majid.
Kurt.
I like Kurt, man. That guy just jumps into anything.
Yeah, that's awesome. I like that when somebody's just like, all right, I'll do it. And they just go.
Yeah, he
Try
just jumps into anything. He's great.
I think that's super awesome. I really respect that of people. Katie's coming back. She's gonna do well.
Adam
She
Haas
was
and
like
Cole Schwartz.
up 5 or 6 last year, right? What's
It's a
that?
good
Katie,
lineup.
I thought Katie was fourth. I can't remember.
Cole Schwartz, Caleb Yates.
And they got that Lauren Weeks girl on there.
Yeah, but I don't know if we're gonna get a flight. They're expensive.
Caleb Tucker, Calypso Sheridan.
So I mean,
That's
these
last
are kind
year.
of
Calypso's
older. I don't
last
know.
year.
Maybe these are.
I think you're looking at last
This
year.
was last year.
Okay.
Did I scroll too far back?
Ah,
Oh, I don't know where the cutoff line is.
The cutoff line
if
is,
this
let's
one-
see.
24 weeks ago. So this one's got to be true, right?
No, Calypso. No. This is this year. Calypso. I guess she's coming back for it. Oh, the Shiz. Look at this. The Shiz is going.
She's in Australia right now, isn't she?
Yeah, maybe she said a long time ago, but maybe she's coming.
Where'd you say the Shiz? What's he doing?
Shiz is right next to Calypso. Are we looking
there
at the
you
same
go.
page? Yeah,
This
I
was
don't know. if she-
44 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Are you
maybe
sure
she's-
this wasn't?
Yeah, this might have been before she moved.
Yeah. This was right after. This
It
was
is
right
saying that
after
August
last year's
10th.
event.
August 10th, 11th, 2024.
But
Yeah, but
now
it's-
except now it's August 2nd through 4th.
Yeah.
Now it's the week ahead.
Kara Mobley, not Kara Mobley.
Do you know, Matt, if they will be doing any kind of streaming of this?
Well, the brand new media company called Hybrid OCR Report.
The hybrid report. Yes, the hybrid
going.
report.
So they'll be doing some sort of live stream. So we'll see what that's going to be. I was really hoping he could bring me back. He brought me last year, and we talked about bringing me this year, but he couldn't make it happen. So I guess these guys are going to go there, the Hybrid Report guys, and they're going to do it. So I'm tempted. There's so many great athletes, so many people that we like in the space,
Oh, yeah.
but I just can't go to too many of these things that I'm not getting, money for. So
Yeah.
I hope we get some good coverage.
I hope so. I think it'd be fun to watch. Because, I mean, not that we know what a ton of the events are, but
Wow, who's taking Marcus taking shots? Marcus, what's going on?
What'd Marcus say?
He said, must be a slow time in the hybrid fitness world. Why are you taking shots at us, Marcus? We're talking about this exciting hybrid event coming up called Rally in the Valley.
Here. What's going on in HYROX? Because is that what all we want to talk about? Hybrid is more than HYROX.
Yeah, that's what I always say. Yeah, I think we're good for this week. I think we can come back next week with
So
with some exciting news from Matt Stevens. He hasn't responded back yet, but I'm sure he will.
Well, we will have results from the DEKA Ultra.
And we'll have results from DEKA Ultra. And you'll tell us all about how life is in Indiana.
Absolutely.
Is Rye coming with you?
Yes.
Okay. And you guys aren't going to do a doubles?
She is actually running doubles with Jill Sargent, who as well will be in the DEKA Ultra. And actually, Jill Sargent, not on the list of elites, but she recently won a toughest and a Ultra Spartan.
So just to go back, because I was reading some of the comments, because I didn't see them all come in. Marcus did ask first, how do you qualify for Rally in the Valley? And nobody answered that. I don't think it's a qualify. I think you just have to register early on.
You just register. And then, well, I mean, he obviously invited some people. But yeah, as soon as he put it up, it's sold out, quote unquote. Then
Marcus,
in
order to qualify, you must send $50 to my mailing address.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
And we will get you registered.
We'll get you in.
Well, he announced it. People signed up like crazy. Then he moved the date. I think he lost a couple, some more. But yeah, it's just a sign up type event, and he caps it at whatever he kept it at, 60.
Yeah. And in HYROX terms, the next HYROX coming up is going to be HYROX Sydney. That's on July 27th. I'll be able to talk about that one if we want to. Maybe we can find a live stream for that, Matt. I would live stream and commentate that if I could, because JK's running.
Are you going to Sydney?
No, JK's running though. So
okay, well, tell him to get a buddy to film him.
And same thing for Brisbane.
I think it's
Brisbane. Is August 17th.
I think it's Brisbane is the proper way to pronounce things.
All right.
If JK's girlfriend is going to film him, as long as she turns the camera, to the other people too once in a while, we can do a little what do you call it? Watch along.
Live stream. All right.
We'll do a hybrid engine live stream.
Or you'll do a hybrid engine or an OFX. Listen, I just want this thing to grow, man. I'm supporting all channels here. All right. I want us all to grow more than enough. We can all eat. Dave. It's been a lot of solo episodes, you and Bethany. You got a guest coming up anytime soon?
Yeah, tonight we're actually talking with the people from Warrior Wolf Challenge.
Oh.
So that would be an event kind of like Rally in the Valley sort of thing. So the previous champions last year were Kevin Gregory and Tara Jackson. So we'll be talking with them.
I'll listen to that because I haven't heard about that event.
Yeah. I think it's a little smaller scale, but they're starting to grow. And as far as I know, and this is important, they paid out.
That is what entices the elite athletes to go.
Yes.
Do you have any programming coming up, hybrid engine guy?
We always have programming. We have our pro track and our daily dose track, as well as like if you're looking to just get into running, beginner running or intermediate running. For the strength or CrossFit athlete, as well as a strength program for the runner that's looking to get in. We also have more coming out. So anybody wants to jump on, be waiting for you. We'll talk to you.
There's
on the podiums.
Yeah. Do you want to be on the podium? Get with the hybrid engine.
No. So, yeah, we might have some other stuff coming out. I've been toiling around with some things, so I'll maybe be able to announce those, but we might be a month away. So
here's an important question.
How do you get a hybrid engine shirt? So there are currently only one way, which is see me at an event when I'm walking around with my backpack and ask for one. That has been the way it's been, but that's one of the things I was toiling with as I'm trying to figure out how we can get product to people that want it. So I am trying to do that. And so within the next month, I'll have a better answer, and everybody on the tracks will obviously get the first crack at that when I tell them. And it will, it might even be less than a month. It might be within the next like 2 weeks. I'll be able to get that info out.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us, except for Nick Riker. Have a great week, everybody.
Take care.
Bye-bye.